Disclaimer: there will be spoilers in this video. You have been warned. Also, I suck at pronouncing things, so if I mess up, just laugh at me. It's funnier that way, and it adds comedy too. Thanks guys, and enjoy the video. One of my favorite series on Mystic Umbreon is definitely the Best Team series. It's always been fun to consider which Pokemon work well together, cover each other's weaknesses, and could at the end of the day help you defeat the champion. I thought that it would be fun to both make the anime equivalent of Best Teams, and if it's something you like, feel free to click the link in the description. Now with all that out of the way, today's video we will be looking at Naruto Shippuden. Instead of making a team that can challenge gym leaders, an evil organization, and a champion, in the anime version of this series, we will be looking at creating a team which can overcome the greatest villains in this series. And with the basic idea of the series down, let's set some ground rules. We have access to any living character in this series, as well as characters which could be brought back to life in the universe. For example, if we were talking about Dragonball Z, we could have characters revive with the Dragon Balls, and in Naruto, we could use characters that can be reanimated. As for the big bad villain that we're going to be going with, I mean, come on, it has to be Tails Madara. I understand some people in the comments would prefer Kaguya, but she's a stain on the series, and I refuse to pretend she is the best villain. Madara, especially in his Tails form, was an absolute force to be reckoned with. He's fast enough to keep up with Might Guy after opening the Gate of Death. He's obviously strong, considering he absorbed the 10 tails, but even before this massive power boost, he was still strong enough to take on all 5 of the Kage at once with just clones of himself. His jutsu is some of the most amazing in the series, having access to devastating fire style attacks, as well as the legendary wood style. His taijutsu is strong enough to take on a whole army by himself, but arguably more important is his dojutsu. With this, he had access to the Mangekyo Sharingan, which lets him take enemies out with just genjutsu from making eye contact, and of course, the Rinnegan. And hey, if all else fails, he can always drop a few meteors on whoever he needs to, or just straight up make invisible limbo clones that can attack from another dimension. Put simply, Madara is a master of all 3 forms of jutsu, has insane visual prowess, and even worse, he has the power and speed to back it all up. And scariest of all is his experience. Madara is also battle hardened, living through several wars and literally being raised on battle. He has all the tools in the world, as well as the knowledge of how to make them work for him. But even with this crazy brute force, he still has a phenomenal defense as well. When he was in a bind, he can always use his perfect Susanoo to produce a massive suit of spectral samurai armor. Plus with his Rinnegan's Pretra Path, he can nullify and absorb any ninjutsu or chakra attack if he needs to. The dude is basically perfect in every aspect of the word, so we will definitely need a strong team to take him down. Just like Pokemon, we will be making a team of 6 fighters to take on the challenge. It's important to remember going into this that while choosing the 6 ninja, who are the strongest on their own, might not be the best solution. It will help to have support ninja, strategists, and both offensive and defensive focused skills. That being said, let's kick things off with our protagonist. Naruto Uzumaki is a fairly well-rounded ninja with a focus on heavy offense. His go-to ability is the Rasengan, a ball of tightly spinning chakra that obliterates everything it touches, including the damn moon. While typically a close-range attack, this can also be used at a distance through the Rasen Shuriken. He can also imbue his Rasengan with different elements through accessing different tailed beasts. This includes magma, water, and several other forms. And on the topic of tailed beasts, Naruto has the 9-tailed fox within him. That gives him a massive pool of chakra, as well as a ton of durability. The most useful applications of this in Naruto often comes in shadow clones. While most ninja can usually make a couple, Naruto can make a seemingly endless amount of them. And if Naruto ever feels he won't be able to finish a fight on his own, he can even share the 9-tails chakra with his partners to give them a pretty significant power up. Naruto is basically an all-around solid fighter with both range and close-up attacks, as well as some great supporting abilities. But what makes him most valuable in a team setting is his leadership. Naruto's cheery attitude, as well as his ability to never give up and work effectively with any other ninja, makes him a great leader to the team and will form a pretty solid foundation for the battle. Naturally, if we have Naruto, we also need Sasuke. Whereas Naruto is a well-rounded offensive fighter, Sasuke is more of a straight-up damage kind of ninja. He has access to the Mangekyo Sharingan and the Rinnegan, which, just like Madara, allows him to access all the paths, as well as allowing him to swap places with an object in sight. His offensive Mangekyo skill is Amaterasu, a never-ending black flame that incinerates anything it touches. He often combines it with his Susanoo to use Indra's Arrow, a long-range arrow bolt carry the flame. That means anything he hits is nearly guaranteed to go down. In terms of his normal jutsu, he tends to focus on lightning and fire styles, meaning he can make very fast and explosive powerful attacks. Sasuke might not particularly work well with others, however the slight utility he offers along with this powerful jutsu would likely make him the finisher in the battle. Alright, we have our offensive core down. Next up, let's get a defensive fighter so we can protect our team. And there is no better defensive option than Gaara. Having the ability to manipulate the sand around him to create protective walls, light armor, or even sealing jutsu is supremely effective when it comes to blocking attacks and locking up his opponents. Also, he can basically give his allies a flying nimbus. Well, a flying sandbus, if you will. By controlling the sand below his allies' feet, Gaara can allow them to fly, as well as control the directions they can fly towards. Meaning if Naruto or Sasuke are caught off guard, Gaara can still pull them away from a distance or block attacks by sending sand in the path of the attack. If you've seen the Asta vs Veta fight in Black Clover, you can think of this as a better version of Vanessa's string magic, pulling and pushing his allies into positions they need to be in order to stay safe and land their attacks. Furthermore, while it might not be the most useful, Gaara also has access to some range attacks, shooting sand bullets, biting his opponents at the sand under their feet, or attacking them from blind spots, all allowing for more options in any battle or situation. Plus, while he might not get along with Sasuke, he has a ton of synergy and experience with Naruto. And with Naruto being the core of the team, it just makes things work a lot more smoothly. Speaking of making things run smoothly, let's get things down to the mental core of the team. Having a great offense and defense really means nothing when there's no strategy to supplement those skills. Shikamaru is likely the smartest person in the Naruto universe, and most importantly, he's able to understand the strength of his allies and how to use them in a way to exploit his opponent's weaknesses. His ability to make plans and think ahead in battles always allows him to gain the upper hand. Even against the immortal Hidan, Shikamaru managed to set up a situation where he could take the W. And I mean, while Hidan might not have been the strongest Akatsuki member, he was still immortal. And I think that counts for something. All of this, and I haven't even gotten into Shikamaru's jutsu. While not insanely strong on his own, he uses shadow jutsu. Much like Gaara, he can pull and push his allies into place if he needs by connecting his shadow to theirs. But what would more likely come into play is his ability to restrain, slow, and seal his opponents. Much like Gaara, Shikamaru is definitely on the side of bringing more utility to the table. But I really don't think this is a battle that could be won without him creating and exploiting openings for his team. Bringing in our fifth member, we have another ninja that brings a ton of experience to the team, Itachi, and also my favorite character in the Naruto series. Growing up in war times and becoming a legend at a young age, Itachi brings a lot to the table. While of course he has a ton of power when it comes to genjutsu, these won't exactly be too useful against Madara and his Rinnegan. However, Itachi is still a master of manipulating the opponent's senses to create advantage. What he would offer in this fight is likely his access to his Uchiha skills. Think of him as a slightly weaker Sasuke with a lot more brains and experience. More importantly though, is the Sword of Totsuka. If all else fails, this is how they would defeat Madara. For those who don't remember, this is the blade Itachi used to still Orochimaru, and he was only released because part of him was in Kabuto. I don't think the same can be said for Madara. If Itachi was ever able to land a single strike with his blade, the battle would be over and Madara would be sealed away in an instant. Luckily, with the binding abilities of Gaara and Shikamaru, Naruto's 9-tail cloak boost, and Sasuke's ability to swap places, they will likely be able to set up a situation where this is all very possible. Now before I get into the last member, I want to talk about a few people who almost made it. Pain, Kakashi, and Guy. While each of them are very powerful in their own rights, I don't really think we need more damage after Sasuke and Naruto. We should already have all the damage we need, and it becomes more of a matter of keeping our fighters alive and creating openings. And the same can be said for most, if not all, offensive fighters. The first Hokage was also an option, but I left him out for two reasons. Firstly, I feel like to justify bringing him, we need to bring Kabuto for reanimation, and Kabuto sucks. And secondly, it just feels like cheating. On the same mindset, Minato kind of offers a better teleportation than Sasuke. However, his attacks really line up with Naruto's, and he couldn't offer too much more outside of mobility. It'd be like making a team of all one Pokemon type. You need the balance to bring out a Pokemon's strengths, so what I thought we could really use here was a healer. Again, we have defense and strategy along with a strong offense, but if anyone goes down, we're screwed. Luckily, we have Sakura. Just kidding, Sakura sucks. Of course, we are bringing Tsunade. Firstly, Tsunade is as physically strong as anyone else on this list, if not stronger, but more importantly, we have her healing, and that's on a whole nother level. She has the strongest healing in the series, but on top of that, she has the 100 healing jutsu, which makes her effectively invincible. Even if she is cut in half, as she says herself, the most important part of a healing ninja is staying alive, and no one can do that as well as her. Also, while not the most important factor, she also completes the summoning trio. Naruto with the toads, Sasuke with the snake, and Tsunade with the slug. I guess Sakura could also be argued in this aspect because of her abilities and the synergy with Naruto and Sasuke, but I prefer Tsunade, but Sakura I guess could potentially be a potential second. There you have it, Naruto and Sasuke taking on the offensive helm, Gaara offering defense and utility, Shikamaru being the strategist, Itachi being the last resort sealer, and Tsunade keeping everyone alive with her healing. With a team like this, I really think they have a great chance of taking down Madara. Even if he has the 10 tails, everything the team could need is here, and even with everything Madara can throw at them, that should be taken care of pretty handily. If you have a better list or think someone would work better on my team than someone else, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to Mystic Sage and definitely check out more of the anime content I have on here to offer. Thanks for watching.